What's going on, guys? Dan of the SteelTwins here to do the Week 4 picks, and we got a special guest joining us this week, a member from the Discord chat, his third year joining us for the weekly picks. PaperPortal, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Excited for another week of football.
How do you feel about our Steelers right now?
Optimistic after last week, but we'll have to see what we do now.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Texans coming up. We got an early game this time around. No prime time the last 2 weeks, so I mean, we'll see what our Steelers can do during the day. We gotta go all the way to Houston though. But before we do that, we gotta get to a rivalry matchup here. I believe this is NFC North. This will be the last football game for September, actually, as we're already a month in. We have the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Who you got on this one?
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. The Lions and the Packers both won last week. The Packers went down 17-0 and were able to scrunch up a win. I'm going to take the Packers in this one. I like how Jordan Love has been playing. The Lions, they've been good as well, but I think the Packers are going to be able to beat them at home. I'm going to take them 20-17.
Yeah, this is going to be close. This is going to be competitive. This will be a down to the wire game. I agree with you. This is going to be a good one, man. This is one that we all got to definitely sit by our TV screens and just watch as a football fan, man. It's good to see that the Packers and Lions rivalry is kind of back to prominence, I suppose, as the Lions are a competitive squad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Green Bay, man. What they've done the last 2 weeks, what they did versus the Saints, what Jordan Love's been doing. I don't want to jump the gun, but he's kind of looking like the truth. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, he looks great.
He's looking very, very good, man. It seems like, again, it's too early to tell, but Green Bay's starting to. It looks like they're getting what they wanted out of Love. So, with that being said, it's in Green Bay. It's in Lambeau. This is going to be tough. I'm going to go Detroit here just because I like their team a little more. And I'm still waiting on Jahmyr Gibbs to get his first touchdown. It's got to be at some point soon, right? I mean, they got to start utilizing him more.
He's due.
He's really due. I'm not going to lie, man. I've been putting parlays for him to get a touchdown, and none of them are struck because they're not getting him in the end zone. So, it's actually irritating me as a fan. But I think that happens this week. And I'm going to go Detroit, though. But we'll see. Maybe Green Bay can pull it off. Next games, man. We got Sunday all the way now in October. We got Atlanta. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. This is in London. This is a 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time game, man. What's your prediction here?
Yeah, this game's going to be interesting. I think they're making the game into a Toy Story form, so I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to look.
Oh, what?
But yeah, they're going to in real time. They're going to make it they're going to show the players in like a Toy Story room. I don't know how they're going to do it, but the Jags. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has not been bad, but I think the Jags wide receivers lead the league in drops with 9. I saw that stat earlier, so they have not held them out at all. And then the Falcons, they're 2-1. Kind of surprising. I thought that they were going to be really bad this year. Ritter has been pretty meh, but they've got Bijan, and Bijan has been all that he's been advertised. He's been amazing. But I think the Falcons are going to start to slow down. I think Bijan's going to have another really good game, but I'm going to take the Jags here in a Trevor Lawrence London masterclass, 34-24.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I'm going Jacksonville. They just always do good in London, and yeah, I agree with everything you said about Atlanta. They got the great 1-2 punch in Robinson and Algier. That's about it. I don't know if Ritter is that guy yet. It's still too early to tell, but nonetheless, it seems like you're right. They are going to start falling down. I'm still waiting for Jacksonville to play as advertised. They've been a little down lately. But I think this is the time where they really start getting going, and it's in London. They got good history there. So, yeah, I got to agree with your prediction, man. Give me Jacksonville in this one. Next game, we have the AFC East bout. I don't know why this isn't Sunday night. This should be. Seriously, we got the Miami Dolphins coming off one of the biggest blowouts in NFL history to face the Buffalo Bills. This should be a dominant game, man. What's your prediction?
Yeah, the Dolphins offense is just unreal, and they put up 70 without Jalen Waddle, which is even crazier. Mostert had 4 touchdowns. Chain had 4 touchdowns. Everyone was just clicking. And then the Bills, they've been good. Josh Allen, he struggled a bit early on. Like week 1, he wasn't great. He threw 3 interceptions to Jordan Whitehead, but they did just destroy the Commanders. They had 4 interceptions. They just obliterated Sam Howell. So this one's going to be a really, really good game. This definitely, as you said, this definitely should have been the Sunday Night Football game over Zach Wilson. But I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one, 31-28, and I think they're going to be one of the best teams in football, or they are one of the best teams in football.
Yeah, I'd argue they are. They are definitely the best AFC team easily, dude. I'd say they're
Absolutely.
the most complete team, not only in the conference, but arguably in the league. And once they get Ramsey back from IR, that's only going to make them stronger, man. And what you said about Josh Allen, him being turnover heavy, and it's still apparent even in early this year, I think that's going to hurt the Bills in this matchup, man. I think Miami's going to take advantage. I'm so jealous of Miami. Every
Great offense.
every time you turn around, they're always getting points on the board. Like how? I'm so jealous. So in that factor, I'm going Miami. I think Tyreek has another great game. I think Miami continues to show that they have arrived and they're just going to continue to dominate. Yeah, I gotta agree. Give me Miami. This is gonna be a fun one, man. Can they flex Sunday night football games yet, or is that a later thing?
I think that's week 5.
It's only damn. We couldn't get this next week. That sucks. But
Yeah.
it sucks because our game's on while this game is on. I really want to watch this, but obviously our Steelers play during the same time.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but it's gonna be a good one, man. Next one that will not be a good one. Oh my God, I'm dreading just looking at this. We're talking about two teams that got blown out. We got the Broncos versus the Bears. Do you care to give your prediction on this one?
No, this is going to be an awful game. I do think the Broncos are going to win, but these are just two awful teams.
Very bad teams. Like, oh my goodness. I guess I don't know. First of all, I'm not impressed by Justin Fields at all. I know Chicago is the quarterback dumpster fire, but you got to at least put some blame on the quarterback at the same time. And Fields has not taken that jump, even after everything that Ryan Pace has done to kind of help give him targets. But yeah, I guess I'll go Denver. I guess no one cares about this game. Literally nobody's going to watch this game, man. I don't even think Bears and Broncos fans want to watch this.
Oh, I know. They'll watch Miami Buffalo.
after last week, none of these teams just care anymore, dude. So let's go Broncos for the fuck of it. Next game, we got another rivalry matchup, AFC North this time. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns, man. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I mean, Watson, he looked okay last week, but I saw the one play he threw it backwards. That was really funny. He is not worth what they're paying him.
No.
Lamar has been really good, and Zay Flowers, he is scary. I really liked him pre-draft, and I think he's gonna be a problem for Pittsburgh in years to come.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ravens are gonna, after a bad loss to Indianapolis, Tucker, he missed a field goal, but I think they're gonna rebound here and they're gonna beat the Browns 24-21.
Agreed. Yeah, give me Baltimore. I mean, I think the remainder of the season is really going to tell a lot on what Deshaun Watson is and who he is now after everything that's went down, and to see if what the Browns traded for is going to pay off, which I think we both agree here. It hasn't, and it won't. It's just way too much to offer for someone like Watson, and he's got a ton of pressure for the rest of the season. I don't know if he's going to handle it, but yeah, I'll go Baltimore. They're the better team. They just they're still nicely defensive. I know Browns did well against Tennessee, but that's Tennessee. I don't think anyone's impressed with Tennessee anymore. They're pretty washed. They've kind of had their nice little fun, but now you're starting to understand they're kind of in a reload or a rebuild, especially at the quarterback position. So nothing of what the Browns did last week was very much impressive. Now they're facing a division rival. Yeah, give me Baltimore as well. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals, man, finally got a win last week versus the Rams on Monday night. What's your prediction here?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the Bengals are going to rebound, but it cannot be understated how bad Burrow has been. I mean, he has just not been good. He was awful week 1, and he did not impress me last week. He threw a really bad interception to Ahkello Witherspoon. I think they're going to rebound, and I know that Burrow's not 100%, but I'm going to take the Bengals in this one, 24-21. But if Burrow can't, get back to what he was last year, they're going to be in trouble.
Is he still hurt or something? Like, is it worth playing him this early?
Yeah, I think he's still hurt. He's not 100%. I would sit him, let him get healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you're only going to risk any further injury for the longevity of the season. Like, if you're going to sit him or put him on IR or whatever, right now would be the best time, honestly. So I don't know what Cincinnati's doing with Burrow. I agree. He's not looking the same, whether he's fighting an injury or not, man. They are just not the same Cincinnati they've been the past couple years. But against Tennessee, it's still going to not affect them enough to give them a loss. So give me Cincinnati in this one. Tennessee's just not all that no more, man. They got noticeable names, but that's about it. That's it. So, yeah, give me Cincinnati. Next game, the Los Angeles Rams versus the Indianapolis Colts. This should be an interesting one. What's your prediction?
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. The Colts, I think they've been very impressive. Anthony Richardson was out last week, but Minshew Magic came back. I think that Richardson may be back this week. I don't really think it matters. I think the Rams are a bit overrated. I think they got lucky week 1 against the Seahawks. Puka Nacua, he's been a cool story, but they just don't have a lot of weapons. They don't have a lot of players until Cooper Kupp gets back. I think they're going to continue to struggle. I'm going to take the Colts, whether Richardson or Minshew starts, 34-17.
Wow. Yeah, this one's tough for me because I actually agree with a lot you said there. I will say, man, Zach Moss has been doing well in his last 2 games, last 2 starts, helping that ground game. He's been helping the Colts out a lot. And, with the Rams, like, you can trust McVay. McVay is someone you never want to underestimate. And this is a testament to how good he really is. And it seems like Stafford has a chip on his shoulder once again because a lot of people, myself included, wrote the Rams off early on, and they're not really trying to show that we're going to be the worst team or we're tanking or whatnot. So up until that point, that Cup comes back, though, I'm not exactly sure what Los Angeles team we can truly expect in this one, especially after what happened versus Cincinnati. A bad Cincinnati team that hasn't showed up at all this season. So with that being said, I'm going to agree with your prediction, man. Give me Indianapolis. Whether it's an upset or not, yeah, give me Indianapolis. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the New Orleans Saints. I believe this is a rivalry matchup. What's your prediction on this one?
Yeah, so I doesn't look like Derek Carr is going to play this week, so I think it's going to be Winston. The Buccaneers have looked very, very good. I know they lost to the Eagles, but the Eagles are a great team, and they're gonna make you struggle. Baker's been impressive. He's got 4 touchdowns and only 1 interception, so he's been a lot more decisive this year. And then, I mean, Mike Evans is just Mike Evans. He made an unreal catch.
Yeah.
He's such a great receiver. He's so consistent. He's not normally talked about in that top receiver thing, but he absolutely should. I think the Bucks are going to continue to win. They're going to rebound from last week, and I'm going to take the Bucks. I'll take them 25-16.
Yeah, this is another tough prediction for me. One thing I noticed about the Saints, although they choked 17-0 last week versus the Packers, all their losses have been 1 score by no more than a field goal. Or all their games, rather, have been by no more than a field goal. So they suffered a first loss last week. But like you said, man, Tampa Bay, they've been shockingly impressive with arguably one of the worst quarterback situations this offseason. But Baker's starting to have a new change of scenery. Like you said, Mike Evans he's going to make a lot of money next year. Whether he stays with the Bucs or he goes elsewhere, probably elsewhere. But he is just a beast at this point, man. He's just
Yeah, absolutely.
like you said, Mike Evans is Mike Evans. Like, this guy is truly one of the greats. I still feel that he's underrated in a lot of aspects. Like, no one talks about him.
Yeah, definitely.
It's criminal, actually. But with this one, yeah, whether Derek Carr or Winston plays or not, if Winston plays, then I think Tampa Bay's defense should have a good game. But Derek Carr also hasn't stepped up when he's been the quarterback so far this season. I expected a little more from the Saints, and they've been a little quiet and silent, not as offensively dominant with the weapons they have. So this should be a fun little matchup. I'm definitely anticipating a defensive bout here. If you're a betting man, I'm taking the under. But give me Tampa Bay. I think since Carr is out and Winston has that turnover history, Tampa Bay is going to take advantage. So give me Tampa Bay. By the way, I'm again Mike Evans versus Marshawn Lattimore again. Don't those two always have a great little bout, great rivalry?
Oh, every time.
That should be interesting. That should be a fun little watch. Next game, we got another rivalry matchup, a lot of them this week. This time for the NFC East, we got the Commanders at the Eagles, man. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles, they've been an interesting story. Hurts has kind of struggled this year. He's got 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, so he's really not been, crazy. But their run game is back and even better than ever. Swift is on a complete career rebound. He has I think he's like top 3 in rushing right now. He had 130 yards last week. He's been unreal, and I'm excited for him. I've been a big fan of Swift, and he's finally having that true, career year. And the Commanders, they looked awful last week. They threw 4 interceptions. I like Howell, but he didn't look good last week. I think the Eagles are gonna blow the brakes off of the Commanders,
Yeah.
27-7.
Yeah, agreed. This is going to be a blowout, dude. The Commanders still have a long way to go. Howe showed you last week he's not the answer. Whether it's too early to tell or not, it's just that was bad. And now they're facing an Eagles team that is coming off a dominant victory versus the Bucks, and Eagles are in the Philly. So yeah, give me the Eagles, man. I think Swift's gonna have another good one. The only Swift that really matters in football. Need I say more?
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going Eagles here, man. This honestly, man, outside of if it wasn't for the New York Jets facing the Chiefs, this would be my lock of the week. But give me Philly. Next game, we got the Vikings at the Panthers. What's your prediction?
Yeah, this is the other 0-3 versus 0-3 game. It's funny how that worked out. All four 0-3 teams versus each other.
Interesting.
You know, the Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins he's been very, very good this year, but they've just lost. I mean, I don't know how they're losing, but last year they kept winning games by one score. Now they're just losing games by one score. And then the
Yeah.
Panthers, you know, Bryce Young, he's honestly been awful. I know they haven't gotten him any protection, but he's getting killed out there. He's making bad decisions. I don't know if he's back this week, but I don't really think it matters whether Bryce Young plays or Andy Dalton plays. I think the Vikings are going to finally win this game, and I'm going to take them 21-16.
Yeah, agreed. Nothing too crazy about the Panthers right now. Nothing that gives me any reason to give them a win in the win column right now. Whether Dalton starts again or Young's back, regardless, I think Minnesota, man, they have the team, man. For the most part, they have the pieces. But you're right, they just can't close the games out, man. It's so weird how last year everything was on their side. Now to start the year, everything's on the wrong side for them. So give me Minnesota here. I think Jefferson, he could go for another 150. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise nobody. So yeah, give me Minnesota to have I would think a dominant victory. Next game, we got Pittsburgh at Houston. We got the Steelers at the Texans. Man, J.J. Watt's Hall of Honor game where he's inducted into the Texans Hall of Honor, man. And this should be interesting. This should be a nice little story. How you feeling about our Steelers, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to depend. Are we getting the weeks 1-2 offense, or are we getting last week's offense, which was a lot better? But I think a lot of Steelers fans are, going to underrate Houston, but this is not a Houston team to underrate. CJ Stroud has been very, very good. I don't think he's thrown a single interception. And then everyone wants to talk about Puka Nacua as the, stud steel rookie receiver, but Tank Dell has been outstanding. I mean, him and CJ Stroud have had a great connection. Tank Dell has been really, really good the past 2 weeks, and I'm very worried that our corners, like we weren't able to cover Devontae Adams. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop Tank Dell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this is a game where if we don't show up and if we don't play well, we're going to lose. But I do think we're going to show up, and I do think we're going to play well. I think it's going to be a really tough game. It's going to come down to the end, like every game seems to. I'm going to take the Steelers 24-17.
Yeah, I'm going to go Steelers as well, man. That's the first time this year I've taken the Steelers in my pick 'em. So there you go, man. The Texans are absolutely not a team to underestimate, man. This is a different Texans team from years past. The fact that they got D'Amico Ryan as the head coach already said that. And then in the draft, they got Stroud, then they trade up for Will Anderson, then they got Tank Dell. Was it round 2, I believe? And like you said, they are just lighting the league up right now, man. They are the duo that's not being talked about. I mean, plus Nico Collins and Tank Dell both have over 250 yards receiving to pair with Stroud, man. That's very nice to say for the Texans, man. They got a lot of positive to look ahead. And Stroud, like you said, no picks yet. Over 900 yards in the first 3 weeks, so he can throw the ball, man. He's not afraid to throw it either. So, but in that factor, we got to welcome him to the NFL. No better defense to go up against than our pass rush to welcome him to the NFL. So we're hoping we can do that. What you said about Tank Dell is true. He's explosive, man. But I think the fact that we have a carbon copy, a model of Tank Dell and Calvin Austin, we kind of game plan. I don't think we're going to be able to stop him because, like you said, our secondary suffers in coverage, dude. It's so bad. But if we can at least game plan against him and trying to find a way to limit him or try to find a way to not give him the football, then maybe we can kind of slow him down. But whether that's using his long speed or giving him the ball in space and using his yak ability, Tank Dell, man, if he gets the ball in this game, man, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to cringe every time because – not only do we suffer in coverage, we suffer with tackling and then some. So we got to find a way to limit him and just welcome Stroud to the NFL. So With that being said, I do feel confident we can walk out with a win. But for the offense, consistency is key, man. So with that being said, let's go Pittsburgh. Let's go Pittsburgh in this week's Pick'ems. Next game we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. What's your prediction here?
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders, they're 1-2. They beat the Broncos, which that win looks a lot less impressive now. The Chargers, I think both their first 2 games they lost by 1 score. Herbert's been very good. They lost, but they did lose Mike Williams for the season. I think he tore his ACL. I think the Raiders are going to be a really bad team this year, and they're going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. I'm going to take the Chargers in a blowout, 34-10.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers here. They're just a better team. You got to favor them a little more. The Raiders could make this a little competitive, especially since the Chargers they can't really stop the ball. They've been struggling with that for years past. But, yeah, give me Chargers. I think Keenan Allen will have another great game, man. So, yeah, I think LA gets their second straight win here. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Dallas Cowboys, man. Zeke comes home. What's your prediction?
Yeah, the Patriots, they've been solid this year. Mac Jones had another incident. He's being seen as one of the more dirty players. Sauce accused him of hitting him in the nuts, which you can't do that. The Cowboys, they lost to the Cardinals, which was one of the most surprising things I've seen. And the Cardinals, I'm happy for Josh Dobbs, and I'm happy for the success he's had, but I did not expect them to win that game. But I'm going to take the Cowboys here in a rebound. I think they're going to play a lot better, and they're going to beat the Patriots 24-17.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta agree. I'm gonna go Dallas. After a loss to the Cardinals of all teams, man, they're gonna want to bounce back. And the Patriots have been better than expected, but I don't think they're gonna be good enough to beat Dallas. It'll be a nicely coached little matchup here for Belichick. But yeah, give me Dallas. I think Dak will have a decent game. Next one, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. This is another divisional matchup. This should be one of the more interesting ones. And I'm hoping Arizona can keep it close because I don't want to see a blowout. And the story with, like you said, Dobbs, it's good to see. I've always liked Dobbs. Plus, James Conner's looking good. You got some old Pittsburgh stars in the Steelers graveyard actually doing some good for Arizona. But in San Francisco, it's going to be a tough one. So what's your prediction?
Yeah, I mean, the 49ers are the definition of consistency. All 3 weeks, they have scored exactly 30 points. And they've played extremely well. Brock Purdy, he's gotten the ball to his receivers. They got McCaffrey. They got Bosa. I mean, they're just a team full of stars. And as you said, I wish this game would be close, but I just think the talent on the 49ers is too much for the Cardinals, and I think they're going to blow them out. Since they've scored 30 the first 3 weeks, I can't predict anything other than 30, so I'm going to predict them to win 30-16.
Yeah, that's fair. I would like to see Arizona keep it close, but like you said, man, San Francisco is so consistent. They are probably up there with the Dolphins as the most complete team in the NFL, man. They're just so dominant, so consistent, and they just know how to just win football games, man. They're doing everything right now. Purdy's looking good. I mean, McCaffrey's having one hell of a start to the season. So, I mean, I think every single game he's had a touchdown and over 80 yards so far rushing. The dude's killing it. And against Arizona, man, it should be no different. So, in San Fran, yeah, they get their 4th straight win for sure, man. That should be up there as a lock, honestly. What will definitely be a lock, and no one wants to see this game. This should absolutely be flexed if it was ever possible. Kansas City versus the New York Jets. Do I even need to ask you this question?
Yeah, I mean, this is just bad. Zach Wilson on primetime. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I don't think this is going to be anywhere near close, and this is going to just be an awful game that no one wants to watch.
No, I'm definitely not watching this, dude. I'm not at all, bro. And it's, I know why they put this game on when they release the schedule. Yeah. Obviously, things that happened. But, God, there should be a way to flex. No one wants to see this. I mean, I know it's Mahomes in primetime, but it's the Jets. And the Jets are the Jets, man. Kansas City, enough said. To close out week 4, we got Monday Night Football. This should be an interesting one, man. We got Seattle. We got the Seahawks traveling to New York to face the Giants. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I mean, the Seahawks, Geno Smith, great story. He's built off of last year. And the Seahawks, I mean, the Giants, they've been a pretty bad team. Daniel Jones just hasn't looked great. Saquon not gotten off to the start he got off last year, but their offense as a whole has just not been clicking. And I think the Seahawks are going to beat them in a dominating win. I'm going to take them 30-17. And I think the Seahawks are going to be one of the better teams in the NFC this year. I think they've got a real chance at going far in the playoffs.
Yeah,
And I'm happy for Geno. It's an awesome story.
it is an awesome story, man. Good for him, and it's a continued testament of how truly great Pete Carroll is as a coach, man. And I think the Seahawks have scored 37 points exactly their last 2 weeks. So against the Giants, who got blown out by the Niners last week, the Giants might keep it close. You kind of expect better from them, but at the same time, man, the Seahawks are so well coached. They got too many weapons. Kenneth Walker's just all this guy does is get multiple touchdown games, man. That's all he does, man. So it won't be surprising if he repeats that again here. Yeah, Seahawks to close out week 4 of the NFL season, man. So it's already week 4. We're already 1 month into the regular season. So it's going a little too fast for us, but at least we're getting football, so we can't really complain, man. We're already into the month of October shortly. It's crazy, but it should be an interesting week of NFL games, man. So I hope you guys enjoy. And huge thank you, huge shout out to PaperPortal for joining us for the week 4 picks, man. Always great to have you on. Good to get you on sooner this time of year, man. So thanks a lot for that.
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. So at the end of the day, here we go, Steelers. Let's get a dub. You're more welcome to join us for the peace outro. So give us you guys picks in the comments. And like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later. Peace!